Hey YouTube, Wow Daniel here. Do you ever feel like you want to go visit someplace new, but you can't afford to? Because you can barely afford luxuries like food and a place to live? This video is for you, because it's all about finding the best possible price on airline tickets. Let's say that you work Monday through Friday, but you can take one day off if you want for a 3-day weekend. Maybe you live someplace cold, like Minnesota, and you want to go somewhere warmer for a few days, like Florida. So you go online, you pick an upcoming weekend, and you look at flights from Minneapolis to Orlando. Looks great, except you'd have to sell a kidney to be able to afford plane tickets for $410 each. So the first point I want to make is that to get really cheap plane tickets, you have to have flexibility. If you've already got your entire trip planned and nothing can change, you don't have much opportunity to save money. What allows you to save is having flexibility. Having flexibility with the dates is one of the easiest ones. You really want to take that 3-day weekend in Orlando, right? But it doesn't have to be any particular weekend. You can look at how much a 3-day round trip costs at any time. Look at that. If you fly to Orlando on this day and fly back on this day, it's only going to cost you $87. That's much more affordable than $410. You can also be flexible with trip duration. Now, this can be a little more difficult depending on your obligations at home, but it can still be a good way to save money on airfare. Let's say that you were planning on flying out this day and coming back on this day. That's almost $200 round trip. But because the flight back home is a lot cheaper in 2 more days, you spend less on airfare if you stay a couple more days on your vacation. Again, that's only if you have the flexibility with your own schedule at home, and if it's cheaper to stay in whatever city you're visiting for a couple more days. Finally, you really start to open up more possibilities if you're flexible with your destination. Maybe you finished a project at work ahead of schedule, and you have the rest of the week and the weekend off. Obviously, you can't be flexible with your dates, since these are the only days you'll be free, but what if you can be flexible with your destination? Sure, Orlando would be nice, but you just want to go someplace warm for a few days. Why not just do an open-ended search? You have the day you want to leave, you have the day you want to come back. Now let's see what destinations are the cheapest in North America. If you'd wanted to go to Orlando, it would have cost you $325. But you could still fly to New Orleans for $102, or even Houston for $94. For people who just like to travel and see new places, this is the best possible way to design your vacation around a low budget. Airline pricing is very dynamic, so if you try this now, you might get very different results from if you try this a week from now. Using different websites can also give you slightly different results. This video was made using the Google Flights search engine. But once you've found that deal and purchased your ticket, you're all set. It doesn't matter if that same ticket winds up costing 2 or 3 times as much money in a few weeks. You've got your cheap airfare, and you'll be on your way to your next destination in no time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to help me keep making content. This is pretty dry and boring, but here's a little more of a step-by-step explanation as to how I use the features on Google Flights to find myself the cheapest possible tickets. Let's say I live in Denver, and I really want to fly to Las Vegas. I don't have any specific day or day of the week in mind. The only thing I care about is finding the cheapest possible ticket, no matter what time it is. So I type from Denver to Las Vegas, then I click the calendar, and I click Reset. If you look on the bottom left, you'll see that right now it's set for a 4-day trip. That is what the price showing on every day of the calendar means. That is the price for a 4-day trip if you were to leave on that day. So if I click on the cheapest day to leave, then it shows me the price for every day I might want to come home. I can see that it's cheapest to have my return flight on these days. Now, I can also reset it and change it to show a different trip length, like 5 days. Now, every price you see on the calendar is how much you'd pay for a 5-day trip, starting on that day.